What I would like to do today is to create an alternative design for the Autodesk Design for Medical Innovation Challenge. The portion I'll be working on is the redesign of the Latitude consult system. I'll begin by importing a series of files that I'll need to work around in order to accurately model the Latitude system. I'll go to my project, use the Upload button, and then select the downloaded files. These files will be uploaded. I can close the dialog and check on their progress either through the data panel or through the job status in the upper right. Once the files are imported, I'll create a new component. This is the component I'll be focused on designing. I'll call it housing. I'll reactivate the top level of my design and then save my file so it's part of the project. Once it's been saved, I'll start out by importing the interface board. I'll right-click and tell it to insert it into my design. Then I'll relocate it roughly to the area that I think I'll be working in. I'll repeat this process for the other components. I want to integrate a cell phone, so I'm going to import a model that I downloaded from the internet. I'll also bring in the input plate and the pickup coil. I'll rough their locations in, and then I'll begin to sketch. My idea is to create a more vertical version of the Latitude consult system that integrates a phone base in the front. I'll start out by just creating a sketch. By including parametric dimensions in my sketch, I can quickly and easily modify the footprint of my design. I'm going to take a moment to align the rectangle to the origin of the sketch. I'll click the origin of the sketch, then holding Shift, be able to click the midpoint of the line. I'm going to add curves, so I'll take the two sides, select them, and switch them to construction geometry. When I do this, Fusion will no longer be able to use those lines to create 3D geometry, but they'll still work as a guide. Instead, I'll just simply add two arcs. I'll create the first arc, then add the second one using the same process. To make sure they're the same size, I'll use an equal constraint between the two, and then I can apply a dimension. I'll set the radius, and then I know both sides are the same. The design in my mind includes a step down where I can put the sensor to rest and conceal. So I'll draw a line, and then I can start to extrude. I'll bring up the first portion to a height just a little higher than where I've placed the interface board. When I create this, the sketch disappears. So I'll expand my housing component. Under there I can see the body that's been created and the sketches that exist. I'll turn the sketch back on and start the extrude tool again through the press pull tool. I'll bring this up roughly to where I think it needs to be, enter a value, and then finish the extrusion. In order to see the internal components, I'll go to the browser and use the opacity control to make it possible to see the imported components in my model. Now I'll make a quick change to the geometry. Then I'll use the Move Copy tool to start shifting components around, even setting my interface board at an angle. With a better idea of what I have to work with, I'll make some additional changes to the sketch. By experimenting and exploring different sizes, parametrics will make it easier for you to explore your design as well. I'll create an offset plane that I'll eventually sketch a relief for my phone in. But for right now, what I'd like to do is add an angle to the front and back. I'll reactivate my housing and go to the Draft tool, establishing the bottom as my direction plane, and then just simply tilting the front face back. I'll do the same thing for a couple of other faces. Now I'm ready to sketch the relief for the cell phone. I want to make sure that this is compatible with a few sizes, so I'll include some sketch geometry, lock in the sketch to the middle, and then I can apply some dimensions. Or I can reference other geometry that's already in the part to make sure things are aligned. When I extrude this up, I see that it's just a little short of where I want it. But there's no need to get rid of the feature. I can simply edit the sketch, project another edge in. Maybe instead of using a dimension, I'll just use a constraint, and then I'll update the geometry as soon as the sketch updates. Now I can use the Move Copy tool to grab a face and rotate the top face of the component to align to the interface board. I'll grab the center of the face that the phone rests against and realign it as well. By using tools like Move Copy and Press Pull, it's easy to explore ideas with your design that you might not have thought of before you started. I'll turn my opacity control back up, and now I'm able to get a better look at what my design looks like. Now I'm ready to move on to adding details.